Hey everyone, so this is my lap guide on Raceroom for the Enduro on September 8th, which is WTCR and Nurburgring GP with the fast chicane. Just a warning beforehand, I'm not an expert, I'm not an alien, I'm not the fastest guy out there, but a couple people thought they could use some help on this combination, so I'll give it my best go. The most important thing to know about these cars are basically, as they're front wheel drive, they're limited on traction is with what they can do, because the front wheels are braking, turning, and accelerating, and you only have X amount of traction. So the goal is to separate your inputs as much as possible. You still want to trail brake, you still want to roll easily on the throttle, but if you're starting to turn in aggressively, you want to be off the brake completely, or else you'll slide off the track. Same thing with the exit, you want to be easy on the throttle until you get your wheels straightened out. Otherwise, you won't make the turn if you're giving it too much throttle, because you're just simply asking too much of the front wheels. And in addition, with this track is important. Well, not important. There's multiple corners on this track that are important to have a good run up on the straights following each corner. So sometimes you want to give up some corners, you want to have a very slow entry just so you can get the car pointed as early as possible to maximize those straights, which is especially important with these cars, again with the traction issue. So we're going to start just like a step-by-step, corner-by-corner analysis, and then I'll just play the track at the end in full so you guys can see how it works. So we're starting here at the last corner, about to start our lap. Again, as I'm saying, so you want to be easy on the throttle, be easy on the gas, to try to get as smooth as inputs as possible. So you'll see here, basically, let's see, braking, really easy on the throttle until you get it pointed down the straight, and then you can really lay on it. Have to get a good run up going. And I'm going to pause it here. So my braking point, this is the Renault Megane RS, the 2020 WTCR car, but you could use any from 2018 to 2020. I like to brake where the track changes color here. You might not see it in video, it might not come up, but basically the straight is a little darker than the asphalt when it starts to downhill for the turn. So I use that line. Some cars that are a little bit better at braking, I was driving the Honda before, I think I was braking closer to the 100, but that's, to each his own. It depends on your car and your setup, but know your brake markers because they help tons. So I brake at the line, and the goal here is to try to keep the car as straight as possible when you're on the brake, to maximize that traction before you start turning in and accelerating out. So I'm not completely fully on the brake because this doesn't have ABS and they will lock up. But you could see we basically just took a straight line down. What you want to do is you put the right side wheels over this curb and make it as tight as possible, again, so you could have a good run up to the next one. Rolling onto the throttle. Here I just lift and just kind of guide it in really gently on the throttle, because if you give it too much, you'll just go out of bounds that way. So just got to be patient until you could see your exit that you're aiming for, basically that outside curve. Here there's a little bit of runoff you could use. Again, here normally you can go into this corner faster, but because of the next one that's coming up, you want to stay in tight to maximize that straight. So turning. Again, you're gonna see here I pick up off the throttle a little bit. You can see my inputs just to get that turn in, and then you have to be patient till you line it up for the next straight before you give it full throttle. And you can use some runoff here as well. This corner is pretty straightforward. Brake from 5th to 3rd in this car. Put your tires on the curb, maybe the dirt a little bit. And then you want to stay tucked in again because you want to maximize the next corner. So you want to take it tighter than you normally would. Here, the braking is a little bit tricky. You have to be very smooth with it because the tail end of the car comes out, especially the Renault. I can't speak for too many of the other ones, but you got to be real easy on it. Little slide there. Hop up on the curb. Here, my braking marker is the cobblestone, the second part, the thinner piece. There's like a big block here, as you can see with the mouse, a space, and right there. So I go from 5th all the way to 2nd. On this turn coming up, there is some good banking on the inside, some camber. You want to use that for extra traction, so I really try to tuck in there. Second gear, patient on the throttle. Accelerate out. Apologize for the freeze there, something went wrong with the recording. Now here in the Renault, you could take it full throttle. I'm not sure if you could do it with all the cars, but basically I hop up on the cobblestone on the curb here and then turn in very early because it takes a while for the front to get traction. Takes a while for the tires to bite, and then I put the left side tires basically in the grass here. So I'll pause it again, going wide. I start turning in now. Now you can see I'm like totally up on that curve, but I'm still flat. This technically should be out of bounds, but it isn't, so we're going to use all the track we have available to us. Here you want to stay off that gravel, a little bit of counter steer. This curb, sometimes you could hit it, but they're raised up, so it will give you a little bit of extra stopping, I guess, so you don't go in the grass. I do the same for the last chicane. Here, brake from 5th to 3rd. You want to put the inside tire, just touch that curb. Can go wide, but you want to tuck it back in because you want to maximize the straight, right? So you want to go as wide over here in 3rd, so you could get the most for your money on that straight. Patient on the throttle. So this corner has made me lose races before, basically. So if you go in too hot and you catch that gravel, you'll either lose control or you will slow down so much that you'll basically give up the entire straight. So if there's anyone behind you, they will pass you because this is like a crazy sand pit and it will slow your car down dramatically. So if you think you're going to go on the gravel, just lay off the throttle a little bit to stay on the track, because if you touch that gravel, it's basically done. Straightforward, just stay flat. Here I brake at the 100, and it does get loose in this chicane coming up, so you want to be totally off the brake before you start turning in because you want to get as much traction as possible. So brake at the 100. This corner here, again, I took it pretty fast, so I was sliding out this way. That curve will kind of hold you. It'll give you a little bit of extra stoppage from sliding out, at least. Again, 4th to 2nd, patient with the throttle. Roll on it when you can see that outside curve when you're ready to go.
You've just done a 203.68.
Okay, let me find the start of the lap here and just play it non-stop for you guys. There you go. Apologize for the stuttering. OBS probably had some issues recording this for whatever reason. Straight line brake. Stay tucked in as much as possible. Don't go in too fast. Patient, lay it on the throttle. Careful with the exit here, don't hit the gravel.
Just done a...
Alright, I'll play it one more time without me saying anything so you guys don't have to listen to that.
Just done a 203.68.
Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped out.